Hey, what's up, Couch Potatoes? I know it has been a minute, but we're finally trying to get back on the weekly wrap-up here now to get the schedule back on course. We've been doing nothing but House of the Dragon stuff. I said, hey, there's been a lot of other things been going on. So some of these topics might seem a little dated, but things that we definitely wanted to talk about. So, Patience, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah? You ready to talk about some stuff?
I've got some things that I'm like, I finished some shows and I'm ready to share.
All right, well, we'll talk about some movie and TV news, and we'll kind of get into what, we're kind of interested in listening to, playing, watching, all those fun things. Let's begin with some movie news. Now, the question I'm getting asked the most from people is, hey, Mike, are you excited Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU? You excited that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU? If I told you it's not his Iron Man? No.
I am, okay, so I heard it was Dr. Doom, yes?
Yes.
And so I'm excited because I love the movie Overboard. That's pretty much it.
Oh, it's Dr. Death.
Oh, my mistake.
Look, here's the gist. I love Robert Downey Jr. I think he's a great actor. There's not very many performances of his I watched. I'm like, man, Robert Downey Jr. really brought that movie down. He was great as Tony Stark. Amazing. What I don't like about this is twofold. One, I feel like it cheapens his departure in Endgame. It cheapens it.
Yeah, that's what I got.
But to me, the bigger one, look, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I'm a huge comic book fan. Marvel, DC, Image, you name it. I love comics. I do. And Doctor Doom is my favorite villain of any comic book ever. And the fact that you're going to be using I'm guessing a Tony Stark variant, like an Earth whatever version of him to play Doctor Doom, which does happen in one of the comics, instead of Victor Von Doom of Latveria. I hate it. I hate this idea. I understand why they're doing it. I understand. Apparently he's getting paid to do this movie more than the budget was for the last movie that he was in, Oppenheimer. But I can't blame him.
He almost stole Oppenheimer.
Yeah, no, he did. He did. To me, it's just, I don't understand. This is where I understand where people are like, yeah, I think the MCU might be getting kind of desperate here. It's like I wanted them to bring Doctor Doom into this because, like, if you're going to do a Fantastic, I said that I'm pretty much out on this stuff after Endgame, except for Spider-Man. But I was like, I'll be interested to see Fantastic Four and X-Men because, Marvel's never actually had the rights to make their own movie because it's been by Fox, and they haven't been good. Mm-hmm. So, well, I mean, some of the X-Men were. I apologize.
I enjoyed a couple of the
I mean, the
X-Men.
Fantastic Four. There's been no good Doctor Doom
no.
on screen yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't like this because I love the Doctor Doom character so much. And if you're bringing Tony Stark back, bring him back as Iron Man. I don't know. Again, I just feel like it does cheapen that moment.
It kills that moment for me.
And you're taking my favorite comic book villain and turning it into a gimmick. I hate that. I hate it.
I don't understand it. Like, I felt like it was kind of I got killed off, so I don't have to do these movies anymore type thing. Like, if you were just going to come back, please come back as Iron Man.
Well, see, this is the problem I have
Man
with them opening that can of the multiverse, is because it cheapens death.
Yes,
death
really
is no
does.
longer final. I hate that. Yeah. I hate that so much. And I know that when they did that, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we see Chris Evans coming back here again soon, somehow. Who knows? Maybe Captain America will be, I don't know, make him Magneto or something. I can't think of anything. I was trying to think, what else have they got on the... Anyway, I know people are excited about this, and I'm not telling you not to be excited. I'm just saying that for me, I feel like twofold. Like I said, you cheapen his death in Endgame, and you just ruined my favorite superhero villain or comic book villain ever. So I'm kind of bummed out about it. But cool. If you're excited about it, I don't want to be a wet blanket. That's why I always try to just be like, not a fan. I'll just leave it at that. But hey, Beetlejuice. I didn't say it 3 times, so we're still safe.
Beetlejuice.
Look, the thing with this is after Beverly Hills Cop 4, Axel F, I've got like a renewed optimism. And maybe it's because we just watched Cobra Kai, which we'll talk about in a second, where I say that Cobra Kai is like the gold standard for how you should handle, legacy characters and passing it down to the next generation. Maybe I'm being optimistic, but it actually looks pretty good. Beetlejuice. So I'm curious, should I hope for the best and expect the worst like I usually do with these things? I just think about all these interviews for years where Michael Keaton said, I'm not coming back unless it's worth it. But then I think the guys that did Bill and Ted 3 said that too, that they weren't going to do it unless it was really great. It wasn't.
It was okay. But
I mean,
look, really
he's
great.
come back and he's played Batman recently. Michael Keaton has. Now he's come back playing Beetlejuice. I fear he may have entered paycheck stage of his career, So I don't know. I want to be optimistic about this. I love Jenna Ortega. I think she's great. I think that she could have saved the Scream franchise, but they completely blew that. You got Joyce Byers. I don't know what Joyce Byers. Winona Ryder. You got Winona Ryder coming back.
That's
and
okay.
That's cool.
I was like, I wonder if Moira's coming back. And I'm like, not Moira.
Yeah, what's her real name? I don't even, anyway, you've got that.
Kevin's mom.
I find it weird that there aren't so many the actors coming back. But anyhow, with this, it's I want to hope for the best. I expect the worst with things like this. But I do realize now that maybe they're starting to get it, that you don't have to be completely disrespectful to your legacy characters to pass a torch.
No, and I have that in my notes. Beverly Hills Cop seems to really do it. We just shared the original Twister with our oldest son. Even our youngest came down and was in for the action parts.
Yeah.
And I've heard I want to see I wanted to see Twisters.
I'm excited to see
anyway.
it. I know I was kind of like, you didn't have Michael Crichton writing it. I'm not interested.
But
from
no,
what I understand, it's very
and
respectful.
I heard there's a lot of appropriate homage and to Bill Paxton to.
So you're saying that it can happen. You can actually make something respectful all these years later. So that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm kind of at with this. I'm
and
hopeful.
Respecting not only the source material but the original characters and the original actors. I think there's a lot that.
All I'll say is
right.
I do feel like in these trailers, and I'm hoping it's because they're saving the good stuff, it does seem kind of low energy for Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he's not mailing it in. I'm hoping they're just saving that good stuff. He's not the mile a minute like he was in the original movie.
I hope they keep claymation. I hope they keep the...
I saw the sandworms, the sandworms of Dune, I used to call them, but yeah. Okay, well, we'll see. It's coming out very soon. I saw that they already did a pre-sale and you get these really weird popcorn buckets. So it's very Tim Burton-esque.
Those popcorn buckets, those souvenir popcorn buckets have been...
Oh, you're talking about the ones for Dune?
Yeah, I saw the ones for, what's the other movie I want to see? Wolverine and Deadpool. And those were interesting.
It's wild to me. If you could go back in time a decade ago and tell me my wife would be more interested in seeing a Deadpool and Wolverine movie than I am, I would have been completely just like, what?
Okay,
no.
I was not a Deadpool fan previously, but I did watch the original X-Men. Do you like me?
Oh, I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm just saying you're more excited to see it than I am, which I never would have predicted.
Looks like fun and good.
Yeah. It looks. I've heard great things about it.
I love fun and good.
Yeah, it's apparently it's about to pass Joker's the highest rated the highest grossing R-rated film of all time. So, hey, good for them. Good for them. And that's got a lot of people be like, hey, is the MCU back? And I'm like, I don't know. Is it? Because I thought no, because from what I've been told, Deadpool and Wolverine is very much like a love letter goodbye to the Fox universe. It's very meta about that. Apparently, it's very open, and because Deadpool's you're not going to hold him down. Basically, he takes shots at how bad the MCU's been lately. So, hey, good for them for letting him do that. And I was like, no, I don't think so. But then everybody lost their shit about, Robert Downey Jr. Doom. So who knows? Maybe it is. It'd be cool. It'd be cool if it was at least watchable again. We'll see. Hey, some TV news. We talked about Cobra Kai real fast. We did finish season 6, part 1. It was only 5 episodes. So basically it was quick. Hey, it just started and now it's over. And I think they said that, what did they say at the end? November? It returns in November? Yeah. They were telling us all 3 parts were going to be out this year. They're not. I guess the question I would ask is, after you watch these 5 episodes, and look, we're going to do a separate episode, spoilers, for Cobra Kai. So if you want to know everything we thought about what's happened so far, we'll do that episode isolated. Now that we're done with House of the Dragon stuff, we'll have more availability for those other things. I guess after you've watched those 5 episodes, would you say you feel like now, you're ready for it to end, or are you like, I'm kind of really sad to see it go? How do you think you're feeling right now?
I feel like they're wrapping things up nicely. They're tying things up nicely. I do think, and on a strong note, don't go 2 more seasons just because you can.
Yeah.
So you've got the story. The story is coming to a close. We're kind of doing that, and they lived happily ever after.
Was it Seinfeld or was it Simpsons that said do 6 seasons in a movie? Who said that? Somebody said that. Somebody said that. Do 6 seasons in a movie. Maybe it was. Maybe I'm making that up. Yeah, it feels like the.
And they've already done the movies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they did it reverse.
And there's 4 movies?
Well, 3 in this universe. I don't think that they're even making the next Karate Kid canon with this. I feel like
they're not going to bring Hilary Swank
I feel like
in.
they can't wipe it out because Mr. Miyagi was in it, so they can't just wipe it out. And look, they took mediocre Karate Kid 2, in my opinion, and made it an amazing movie in hindsight. Yeah. They took the biggest ball of shit in Karate Kid 3 and turned it into Filet Mignon. They made Terry Silver an amazing villain, amazing character.
So despicable.
So I don't.
Brilliantly despicable.
These writers can do anything. They can do anything. So if they are going to,
so they're playing, and they're doing all the right things. They are giving original material its dues, original characters, but it's.
You know how good these writers are?
I'm not watching for the original characters. I'm watching because I want to see the new characters.
What's amazing about this writing team was we were like, well, this is kind of weird. Like everyone's in a good place in this first episode.
Yeah.
Like everyone's on the same side. Everyone's
I was like,
aligned.
this isn't gonna make for good stories.
3 episodes later, man, everything is broken up again, and they do it in a way that it's believable, not forced. And I hope.
I saw it coming, but yeah.
I mean, they even brought Karate's bad boy Mike Barnes back. I mean, I love this. It's just so good, man. It's just so good. Such a great show.
But no, I think they're going out on a strong note. It's better than going too long. And you have the natural arc of your story is coming to a close. Why would you push it?
Yeah, like could Breaking Bad have went 2 more years? Probably. But why is its legacy so great? Because it went out while it was on top, right? So I think that this is a good stopping point. But I'm just saying I will be sad to see it go. But that's just because it's still on top of its game, for sure. We talked about House of the Dragon. It's announced that it's going to end after season 4. Which was always what George had said when it first got announced. As he said, he thought they did need 4 seasons to tell this whole story, and they know they're successful enough now. They went ahead and greenlit season 4.
Now I know you've talked about the story just being the Dance of Dragons and not covering
the events after. Yeah.
Yeah. So is that what you think they're going to do, or can they cover the other events in 4 seasons?
No, it's gonna end where the book does. I think, and I can't say what that is, obviously, because it'd be really mean to you guys. But yeah, no, I think I know exactly where they're going to end it, where it makes the most sense. I really can't say anything, but yeah, I think that they know where they're going with it, and I like that. But I something that obviously we're going to complain about is, well, I do wish that they could film season 3 and 4 back to back, so we don't have to wait till 2028.
If you know the story, I don't understand why you're not.
But I think I know what they're doing. Because the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which is the Duncan Egg novels, so the Hedge Knight, is these novellas that George wrote that take place at a different time. I don't even want to tell you who the characters are. It's about Sir Duncan the Tall. If you know who that is, then cool, you'll be cool. If not, it won't ruin anything for you. But they are going to be doing the first season of that next year. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be a limited series or if it's going to be a season 1, season 2, because there are 2 books, and George is apparently... I don't want to tell her that he's writing a 3rd one because she'll get very, very mad when you say that there's George writing anything. So what I think
he writes everything but. Everything but.
You don't want to read wild cards? Anyway, so I think what they're going to do is so they did House of Dragons season 2 this year. So next year we'll get Knight of the Seven Kingdoms season 1. Then we'll get House of Dragons season 3. Then the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms season 2, and then House of Dragons season 5. That's what they're going to do every single year. I think that's what I think they're going to do. No. Well, I'm excited for the show. I think if it's handled with the same care that House of Dragon has been, I'm very excited about it.
I do feel like House of Dragons isn't handled with care, but you can't leave me on the ending you left me on and expect that to tide me over for 2 years.
Well, that's why they're giving you something in the season.
Needs.
Well, you have the season. You have the season. Oh, my thing with this is George is talking about that they've got like plans for 3 live action shows and 4 animated shows, and I'm like, look, I love this world. I don't want them to oversaturate this IP, water it down, do what Disney's done with Star Wars and Marvel, and just made it just like there's just too much. I just don't care anymore. But I also want to see so many of these things. I want to see the Doom of Valyria. I want to see Aegon's Conquest. I want to see the Blackfire Rebellion. I want to see these things.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I'm just like, I'm hoping that they'll pump the brakes. Okay, don't do a 3rd one until House of Dragon ends. That's what I'm hoping. Don't do a 3rd one. But I am excited. In fact, I think I can convince you to read Duncan Egg before that show starts. Because it's not a big commitment.
You just told me they're writing a 3rd book for the Duncan Egg series. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Will it be written?
We'll talk about that after. Well, he's got like 5 years to do it, right?
No, burn me twice, shame on me.
I would say the chances of that are greater than Winds of Winter coming up.
Yeah, I agree.
This is just kind of an off the wall one because I know you're not like. She watches WWE like when we watch, me and the kids, which is just like the big ones,
Pizza night.
WrestleMania, things like that. So WWE is headed to Netflix in January. We knew that it was like a big shock that they're going to be going off of the USA Network for the first time since the 90s, and they're
I
going to
can't
be
even remember now.
they're going to be going on to Netflix. And it's had a lot of us speculating, does that mean that they're going to leave the whole PG aesthetic and go to PG-13? Now, guys, if you've been watching recently, you know they're kind of pushing the limits of what you can get away with while still being a PG rating. It's not the Attitude Era. There's no sexual innuendo or nothing like that. There's no bad language. But they're doing a little bit every once in a while they can get away with. But here's the thing. They're riding a high right now. They're very successful since Vince was, well, let's just say retired, sent out to pasture. And Hunter has taken over as the lead creative consultant, and the people that own it now are saying they're not going to get in the way. They're going to let him keep doing control of creative. I didn't want to let myself believe again. I was like, yeah, watch, it's going to get really good, and then they're going to change their mind. They're going to come take it away. Yeah. It seems like they're really happy with what's going on. Like SummerSlam was this weekend, and there's some storylines that were really good. And I mean, Roman Reigns came back and got like the hugest explosive pop I've heard in wrestling in years. And I'm like, 4 years ago, they were booing this guy out of the stadium. Yeah. Because Hunter actually did a great job with building this guy up the way he is now. He gets to do a babyface run. Everyone's going to love him, and he's going to turn heel and break everyone's heart. It's great. It's the way that it should be. So my question is, do you think they're going to ride this wave, or are they going to push the boundaries and make it PG-13? Because you will have no more, standards and practices anymore telling you what you can and cannot say on network television.
I think they'll go for the PG-13. I don't think they'll push it as far as they can on PG-13.
I don't think it'll go back like the 90s.
Right. I don't think it'll go that far.
I think you'll see some blood. You might actually see the bird flips again.
Some colorful language.
No F-bombs.
But they're already kind of turning that way. You already see the creative shifts. So go ahead and embrace that. Embrace that while you're already.
I said that during WrestleMania, like you saw, like
because you can always do less.
Going to someone's house, like a storyline, making something that's very much based in real life. Kind of breaking character to kind of make it like a little bit more reality. I think that they are kind of leaning into stuff like that. So I think that they're on a good route right now. So I was like, don't rock the boat, but don't be afraid to take chances. And I hope it's not 3 hours anymore, because Raw being 3 hours, which is because of commercials also. Too much. So on Netflix, I don't think they're going to have commercials. I don't know. So if you can just get like a tight 90-minute commercial-free show each week, that'll be appointment television for me again.
Now, I know WWE had their own network for a minute. Where did all those shows go?
It's all on Peacock now. So that's the thing.
So are those staying on Peacock, or are those going to jump to Netflix?
I don't know how this is all working. It's like outside of America, you get like everything, but in America, all we're getting is Raw on Netflix. Okay. But I don't know. I don't know for certain on this, but I just know that's one that, like, again, if you can get that down to a 90-minute show, I'll get back to being a weekly watcher again. Like right now, all I do is watch the pay-per-views and just kind of catch up on those. But I like where it's headed. And I feel like it is in good hands, and hopefully they continue to let it roll that way. And maybe Hunter can convince his wife to get involved again, because she was very, very upset.
She was
very upset, and now that. I think that with her it's a true life Succession, the show on HBO.
Yeah. Yes.
Where she doesn't want to get her hopes up to and come back, and then her dad finds a way to weasel his way back in. I don't think it's going to happen this time. I think Vince is finally he's gone. He's gone. It's not coming back again.
We'll see. No, there's definitely some stuff going on back.
Well, Hunter is very much the Tom.
Yeah.
From Succession.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He is very much the Tom. So something that's kind of an older topic that we didn't get to talk about because we haven't been doing these is Shannen Doherty did pass away, and it got a lot of conversations going. Hey, were you a fan? Did you what was your favorite role or something like that? So I guess my question to you is, were you a fan? And if so, what's your favorite Shannen Doherty role that you can think of?
So I didn't watch 90210. I didn't watch that. It just wasn't a thing. I think my aunt lived with us for a while. She watched. I might have caught an episode or two, but I wasn't following storylines or character development or anything like that. I did, however, watch Charmed.
Boom!
So that was me and my girlfriends getting ready to go out to the clubs on Thursday night. We would watch Charmed first. And so I did enjoy her on Charmed. She was the character you love to hate. I was not surprised when she exited the show, as I had heard the 90210 drama.
Yeah, this is such a beautiful collection.
But yeah, I loved that show, and so yeah, that's what I know her from, and that's where I'm like, Prue.
I did love 90210. This was a cultural phenomenon while I was growing up, man. This was everything. So look, everybody's always like, well, Shannen Doherty, apparently she's really hard to work with. I didn't have to work with her. All I had to do was watch her. And I loved her on 90210. I loved her on Charm. I loved her in Heathers. It's one of my favorite movies from the 80s. And I love her in Mallrats, a movie that's very much ahead of its time. So
Mallrats is
nothing but love on this
movie.
end, man. Rest in peace, man. I think she was an amazing actress. If she had a hard time working with people, hey, sometimes it's just like it, just be like that. But the stuff that I saw with her on the screen, I was a very big fan of, and I'll always have 90210. And no shame, guys. I love this. I rewatched it, I think, twice since I've had this DVD set. I love it. I love 90210. I'll never get tired of it. And every one of those tweener shows that come out now are still trying their damnedest to be 90210, and they'll never capture that same magic. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. Yeah, so good. So good, yeah. Charmed, honestly, I never finished Charmed. Once Rose McGowan came on the show,
I got through that part. I don't think I got to the very end. I graduated. We stopped going to clubs Thursday night. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. To me, this was always not quite Buffy. Let me put it that way. And I'm not going to call it Walmart Buffy because I did like the show. But for me, it was like Buffy was it, and this was just kind of riding that wave that Buffy kind of started. But it's one of those where I was like, hey, I'll go back and finish it when I bought this DVD set. I never did. But I got to... What's his name? Cole, the guy that was on Nip Tuck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Cole. I liked Cole a lot, and I don't know. I liked the show. It's just I kind of lost my way once it was just like so many Monster of the Week episodes, and I kind of fell off on it. But I did watch the entire run while Miss Doherty was on there, and yeah, good times. God, I can't believe you didn't watch 90210. So hey, what are you watching, reading, playing, listening to, all that stuff? What are you doing right now? What are you up to outside of the news?
I am catching up on Umbrella Academy. I saw the 4 seasons coming out. We watched 1 and 2 together, so I'm catching up on 3. I actually went back and
she asked if it was okay if she watched
2.
without me, and I was like, yeah, I don't even remember what happened in the first 2 seasons. It's been so long. So
I remembered 1, but I think we just bull rushed 2, so I went back and rewatched 2. I did remember quite a bit, but not everything. And so I'm in the middle of 3.
I do love Klaus. Klaus is a great character.
Klaus is fun. Yeah. And 3 is a pretty fun season, at least where I'm at so far. I've enjoyed it immensely.
How far into it are you?
Maybe a little over half.
Okay.
Yeah. And before that, I actually kind of binged The Patient.
Oh, is that real dark one?
It's the dark
Michael
one
Scott?
Yeah.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell, thank you. Steve Carell. I was like, Steven, and all of a sudden I wanted to say Seagal, not him. Steve Carell.
Every time I came downstairs, you were watching it, looked messed up.
It was so messed up. And it's an unexpected side effect is that I now have uncomfortable feelings listening to Kenny Chesney. So if you're a big Kenny, if you're a big Kenny Chesney fan, maybe not watch that show because now I'm like, oh, no shoes, no shirt, lots of problems.
Okay. All right. I was thinking it was like 1883 where Tim McGraw was on it or something.
No. Okay. He didn't guest or anything, but he's referenced. And I liked it. It was really good. I could actually see it having another season, almost anthology style, especially the way it ended, setting up with another patient. So that was kind of cool. From there, I was looking at what to watch. Why Women Kill, Ginny and Georgia. Those were 2 things that I kind of kept coming up on my radar.
I don't think I can support you watching a show called Why Women Kill.
But I went with Umbrella Academy, so you're safe, my love. And then we also ended Avatar and have been watching The Sopranos.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about Sopranos in a minute. Me, I finished, I'm on to season 2 of 12 Monkeys. It's still very good. It's very, very deep. It's like there's so many plot lines going on. Like you can't scroll and watch, guys. You have to give it 100% of your attention. Because I get my undivided attention a couple times. I'm like, what? How? Oh, okay, yeah. And I think that what I like about the Blu-ray set I bought is it's very much like the end of House of the Dragon, where they have like the creators come on and the actors talk about each episode. I think that's a really neat idea, and I like that they kind of answer any questions you have. But that's a really good show, guys. I hope you guys will check it out. Don't let the idea that it was on Sci-Fi Channel scare you off. Just like I said, The Expanse. Sometimes they can get they can absolutely every once in a while blind squirrel nut. They'll find something to be like, oh well, they actually made something sci-fi, and that's a really kick-ass show.
Farscape sci-fi.
Yeah.
I love
Oh yeah, but that was when it was SCIFI, not SYFY.
Yeah.
So and we've been rolling through The Sopranos. We are on to the final season now, and this is my rewatch for me. It's a first watch for her, and this was her pick. I was stunned when she picked this. I think that I've actually found a newfound respect for some of the things that I had problems with the first time. That I've realized a lot of that was because we had to wait so long between those seasons.
The pacing of these seasons.
So long between these seasons.
Things.
It really, really bummed me out, but I'm liking a lot of things. I guess you'd say light spoilers, guys. If you haven't watched The Sopranos, I'm going to kind of talk about a couple things here. Kataza Malanga, that scene, I actually bummed me out because she called it like 2 seconds before it happened.
No,
whereas when it happened to me, I shit my pants because I did not see that coming.
And maybe because I'm kind of familiar with Alzheimer's or early onset dementia, I've been waiting. I'm like, this mafioso, he's gonna cap somebody he doesn't mean to cap.
Hey, look, Junior's mind might be going, but his aim isn't because, man, he shot him right in the gut. Like she said, hey, they could have been aiming for his head.
I love you, Tony. Not a small target.
The episode we ended on, the most recent one we watched was Mayhem, which is season 3 of the final season, or episode 3 of the final season, and it's where Tony is in purgatory-ish.
Limbo.
And I'm saying that I think that what I love about that is I've seen a dozen shows where you've dealt with the kind of following the light, crossing over, to the afterlife. Never seen it done as good as this show did. I love the way they did it. It was so powerful. And somehow like haunting. It was very, very haunting the way that you're pretty sure you see the facade of his mother going in the house. I just like the idea of it being a family reunion. You got the luggage, you got to let go.
You have to let go of your baggage.
That's really good. And when you hear Meadows' voice, but it's when she was a little girl calling him back. Woo! Yeah. It's one of the 2 episodes of Sopranos that gets me every time right in the feels. But really good episode. Really, really good. Really, really happy with it. And it might change things for the remainder of the show. And
no, I'm definitely I'm not a pulp culture idiot. I actually know what the finale is, and so I was wanting to. I knew the Gabagool. Where they go? Where the Gabagool? Yeah, I knew that reference. I know the season finale reference. So I'm a little interested on how we get from where we are to where I know it ends.
The thing is people have been interpreting that ending since 2007, guys, and it's like David Chase has come out several times. This is what happened. Shut up, So I think that people will always. That just shows that. It's like the ending of Inception. If people are still talking about it all these years later, you did something right.
You did a good job.
You did something right.
Those first 2 seasons are unparalleled TV, right?
Oh yeah.
And while season 3 and 4 kind of, I felt like we're finding its footing. Honestly, it felt like, oh shit, this is really good. We better write something else.
It's solidified itself on this rewatch for me as a top 5 show of all time because I think about how groundbreaking it was. You wouldn't have got a Breaking Bad without The Sopranos being the hit that it was. You wouldn't have gotten something like that. And I think that, like I said earlier, with all these shows that still try to, these tweener shows that still try to copy 90210, every show is still trying to catch either Sopranos or Breaking Bad or both. It seems like every show. Well, it's not as good as Breaking Bad. It's not as good as Sopranos because it's like the gold standard. And I'm not sure we'll ever see that again. I don't feel like you could surprise people with that. Like when people are saying they can't be surprised watching House of the Dragon because, Game of Thrones set them up to expect the unexpected now.
Sure.
I think it's like that. I don't think you can really surprise people with the anti-hero ever again like those 2 shows did. But I'm glad you're liking it. I'd have been really bummed out if it was just like a chore and you didn't want to do it,
And the acting is on par and the characters are played out so well where I'm like, why are Chrissy and Adriana together? And then they prove to me over and over again they need to be together.
Maybe in the afterlife. You never know.
Well, no, we're
So was that the biggest shock of you? Like Adriana's ending? Did that shock you the most so far?
No.
What's been your biggest shock through 5+ seasons?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that.
I think Kataza Malanga shocked the shit out of me because every single year we heard these rumors that like they didn't want to pay James Gandolfini, so they were going to kill him off, and the show was going to go without Tony. So every time he got shot at, we thought this could be it.
I can't even understand how this show would go without Tony.
Look at Succession. Once they killed off, it was like wow. Spoiler.
Anchor. No, so maybe my biggest shock would be the car salesman girlfriend taking care of herself. Okay. I was pretty stunned.
You fucking burned me.
I know what the biggest shock is. Remember my face 2 episodes ago?
Vito telling that security guard how much she loved him.
Vito in his parking lot romance. Yeah, I was not. It's complete left field gobsmacked.
All right, guys, we're gonna do a actual full video for Cobra Kai here soon. So if you guys want to hear us talk about spoilers on that, you can do it. Hell, we'll probably do one for Sopranos when it's done. When we're done with the Sopranos, we'll probably do one for that because that could be a lot of fun. Hell, I could probably get a conversation going for that one. That could be really, really cool. But that was the week. We'll try to get more consistent with these going forward, guys. So thank you for hanging on, and we'll try to, like I said, be more consistent going forward. So have a great week, guys.
See you in the comments.